pretty small groups for a lot of reasons. It was a duo today, the Crop Dusters, which is a band that kind of has a sort of amorphous form. There's a bassist named Dustin Ellingson, who is the center of the group, and then he plays with like 4 other musicians in varying combinations, and he was playing with Nathan Pitcher today, who's a guitarist and singer, and they were doing blues and folk and originals, and it was fabulous. We have them set up in front of the cafe, so kind of at the top of the escalator, if you can picture that.
Uh-huh.
And we started this program last year and got thwarted by a lot of snowstorms and then thwarted by COVID.
Right.
And we're trying to be as safe as we can for everybody concerned, including passengers and things. But it felt pretty good today. And we've got a really great lineup through the holidays, everything from jazz trios to flute quartets doing holiday tunes to singer-songwriters that people probably would know, like Jake Ingemar. It's just as eclectic a group of musicians as we could put together.
Boy, it just sounds fantastic. So is it just Thursdays? Is it every day? How often will you have musicians performing through the holiday season up at Hector?
It's going to be weekly. It is not the same day, and it's not quite the same time, but it's generally around the lunch hour. We try to hit different, the schedule of the airplanes isn't the same every day.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we try to kind of split it up because there are a lot of people who actually kind of commute. So we want them to get different opportunities at different days of the week. So you could go to the Arts Partnership's website at theartspartnership.net and find a calendar of the performances, and I'm pretty sure it's also on the airport's website as well. And since it's right by the cafe, you could grab a cup of coffee and sit and listen to music.
See, now that was going to be one of my questions too, is about seating. Once we know the schedule, I imagine there's going to be at least some people who are going to want to come up and see the performers. And so do you sit in the cafe? Will there be other seating set up?
Nope, just in the cafe. And, for the price of a cup of coffee and parking, which is maybe $2, you can see a great concert.
Well, no kidding. So, and forgive me for being commercial, but can we tip these musicians when we're up there? Will there be an open guitar case or something?
No, it's funny you said that. I mean, these are paying gigs for the artists, so they receive money, and we don't want it to be a busking situation. They're specifically picked to play, so it's not like just anybody can come and play at the airport.
I got you.
So, they probably wouldn't, turn down $1 or $2, but
I hope
but the guitar case will not be open. Put it that way.
Okay, so we have to do this on our own, everybody. If you're walking by up there, and if some people aren't familiar with the term buskers, that's turned into a worldwide phenomenon where musicians will play in subways and other areas where there are masses of people gathering, coming and going. And I tell you what, some of them have turned out to become stars.
Yep, I know that. They get viral on social media because somebody captures them in a subway. I'm trying to think through the 8 artists. Pretty much everybody has a following and are pretty well known in the community. In March, we're going to be programming a bunch of MSUM students. Bunch of different groups have reached out, and we're going to curate a series of their music. So that'll be kind of fun. And that would be an opportunity to get to know people that you haven't heard of yet. Absolutely.
And so, by the way, we're talking to Tonya Blanich. She is Director of Operations for Artworks, the Artworks program, and their website is theartspartnership.net, by the way. So how did this come to pass? Who sat down and said, hey, let's perform at the airport?
We have had an ongoing relationship with the airport for about 3 years now, and we place an art exhibit over the baggage claim area. And when we were talking with Sean Doberstein, who's the head of the airport, we started just thinking beyond seeing visual art and what we could do. They have had musicians in the past, but, their job isn't necessarily to manage musicians. And as the local arts council, we have access to performers and artists, so it was kind of a no-brainer that we would add that to the program we were already doing with them.
Okay, gotcha. Can Sean play a musical instrument? Has he ever joined you guys?
Sean told us a funny story. You should get him on the air and get him to. I believe he was a roadie at one point. But you should check my story on that.
Well, he's a guy of surprising talents that
exactly
people don't know that he's got so many. He's so accomplished in so many ways. So when's the next performance at Hector?
The next performance is going to be the day after Thanksgiving, so next Friday, the 27th at 12:45. It's Dan Christensen, who used to be with the Wicked Bees, and he'll be doing his singer-songwriter thing. He spent a good part of the pandemic in his home studio and has written some acoustic pop songs that he'll be sharing.
Wonderful.
So that'll be fun.
Well, it's all going on at Hector International Airport, and to check the schedule when this is going on, you can pop up there and have a cup of coffee or something else. The artspartnership.net. The artspartnership.net is where you can see the schedule and enjoy this. What a neat idea, and what a way to add some holiday flavor. People have just got done with an arduous day of traveling all day, et cetera, and they get off their flight, and here's this wonderful music at Hector International Airport.
Exactly.
And then if you throw in Denny Wallaker's voice telling you not to park in front of the airport, it's a wonderful ambiance. 4:50 at the Mighty 790 KFGO. Tonya Blanich, Director of the Arts Partnership, joining us this afternoon. Tonya, thanks very, very much.
Thank you.
This is my first one of the season. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Okay, take care. KFGO time coming up on 4:51. We love to leave you with a laugh. Our stand-up spotlight is coming up in just a couple of moments, talking about getting old. Too Tall Tom now with your forecast. This is The Drive on the Mighty 790 KFGO.